Hi there folks. In this video we're going to disassemble and reassemble the bolt for a Swiss Schmidt-Rubin rifle. Now these procedures should apply equally to the 96, 9611, K11 and G11 series of rifles. And of course, first things first, we want to make sure that the rifle is in fact unloaded. So we're going to open the bolt to the rear and inspect the chamber. So we can see that there's no rounds in the magazine or in the rifle itself. Next thing we want to do is remove the bolt from the rifle. There is a bolt release lever here on the side. So we'll depress that and remove the bolt from the rear of the rifle. Now we can set the rifle aside. Alright, with the bolt out of the rifle, we'll pick it up and hold it in our left hand. And it's important to kind of hold everything steady while you take it apart. So notice that the cocking piece is in a vertical position in relation to the rifle. We want to pull this cocking piece back and turn it so that the sear is between the fire position and the safety position. So with it in the middle position like that, we can loosen our hold on the bolt and we can take the, they call this the cam follower shaft, is what the Swiss call it. We can take that out of the rifle. We can do that by rotating the sleeve, the bolt locking sleeve, like that. Push the cam follower shaft ahead and it will pull straight out of the bolt. So from there, we're going to take the cocking piece and we're going to put it, rotate it, and put it in the fire position so we can ease the spring all the way ahead. And with it in the forward position, we can then unscrew the bolt plug from the bolt body. So this is the bolt body. This piece in between is the locking collar or locking sleeve. So we're going to unscrew that. And we can remove the cocking piece, firing pin, and firing pin spring from the bolt body. Two more pieces here. The locking sleeve basically just slides off the bolt body. There is one more piece you could remove from the bolt body, and that is the extractor. You'll notice that it is back cut over here, and basically this is pivoted in the middle, and you can see the extractor moves up and down. I'm not going to take this off. I don't really like messing with old extractors, but should it be necessary, this can be lifted up at the back and then pushed in this direction. You can push it upward and downward in this direction, rotate it around, and pull it off the bolt body. Alright, all that remains to be disassembled is the firing pin spring, cocking piece, and bolt plug. So, this is pretty straightforward. You can see the firing pin is this long, slender portion, and it's held on here at the front with basically like a T-slot. So just take the spring and pull the spring back slightly, and that just comes right off. You can see how that's held on. Spring comes out. These are not a real impressive spring compared to one you would find in, you know, like a Mauser or something, but that's what they look like. Then we've got our bolt plug, as the Swiss refer to it as, and this is the cocking piece, and this particular part of the cocking piece here is the sear. So there we have a disassembled bolt. Reassembly is obviously the reverse of disassembly, so we'll start off with the bolt plug, and then we'll take the cocking piece with the sear, and we'll insert that into the back of the bolt plug. You'll notice there are two tracks of the bolt plug. There's the short one here, which is the safety position, and then the long one, which is the firing position. We'll use the long one. Then we take the firing pin spring, drop that over the cocking piece, hold that under a bit of tension so that the end is exposed. Take our firing pin and clip it over the end like that. Then we can take our cocking piece and we can pull it back and rotate it back in between the two positions, between the safety and the fire positions, to compress the spring. Next thing, we'll take our bolt body and our locking collar, put the locking collar on the bolt body, making sure that the lugs are at the front. It will not lock if the lugs are not at the front. Then we'll take our firing pin and cocking piece and we'll screw that into the back of the bolt until it stops. So, important point to note here, we're holding this so that this track in the back of the bolt plug is facing us, and we're going to rotate the locking sleeve so that the very forward portion of the cam track is in line with that slot. So you'll see that that position is directly in line with that. Then we're going to take our cam follower rod, and there's a lug at the bottom of that. It's going to fit right in the very front portion of that, and you'll see at the back there's a kind of a dovetail portion, and that will fit into this track if everything's lined up properly. So we'll drop that in place, and with it in that position there, we should be able to pull this back and rotate the bolt plug to this position here, whoops, and hold everything in place while you're doing this, because it's basically just sitting there loose until we put some spring tension on it. So with everything in what appears to be the correct position, we'll pull back on the cocking piece and put it in the fire position, and that'll put some spring tension on all the components so that they will stay together. So there's our reassembled bolt. So we'll take our rifle, take the mag out, and I'm kind of working in confined quarters here, so it's a little hard to do this around the camera and tripod, but we can reinsert the bolt in the back of the rifle, and there we go. It is reassembled, and you can ease the spring, and the bolt is back in the rifle and in functioning position. Put our mag back in, and the rifle is reassembled. Obviously there's more to maintenance than just taking this thing apart. You can see that the bolt was quite dry. I just finished cleaning it. It would need to be lubricated with some grease prior to being used. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you in the next one.